As we look at the house herd here today, the Brotherhood and Molly out there eating, we see that we actually got a couple of girls out there this evening. We got Molly in there eating with the boys. We got a couple other girls out there that are looking good. And you will notice one thing as you look in there. We'll look at them up really close on the Antlers video, obviously. But you take a look in there as we put feed out on the ground. You'll see that the velvet is pretty much gone. Velvet's gone off of Forest. Forest is looking really, really good there. The velvet is gone off of TC, and you look at that big set of antlers, will you? And you look over there, now the antlers are not off of Ot 6, or the other two little bucks there. They are definitely, still got velvet on, but we've got velvet off quite a bit. And we'll be looking at the bucks in the pen also during the Antlers videos. The Antlers videos we show Thursday and Friday. And all of the house deer and the annex with the babies and Chris feeding and everything that goes on around the house and around if we run around the woods a little bit. Well, you look at those horns shining there and that sunshine. Isn't that beautiful? You can see he's still got some velvet hanging from them. He's just really got most of that off today. Still got a lot of blood on them. You can see the red blood around there on them and just quite a bit. But if you take a look at him, he is looking really, really good. That the velvet just today, just come off today, and that's what he's got to pee on the ground. We're looking at your antlers, and look at those brow tines. Boy, they are long. He's got an extra spike growing out down there. A couple of them down on the bottom. So he's got like double brow tines is what he's got. Not split brow tines, but kind of double brow tines. That looks really, really cool. And the little deer, you can see this little guy here still got velvet on. By the time we get to shoot that deer, they're still got velvet on. He's got a nice little rack. That's his second rack right there. But it really could be that by the time we do the Antlers videos a little bit later in the week, that all of that might be gone also, because once they get after it, they get after it big time. The little guy, where are you, little guy? I see you right there. I can't find you. There you are. That's old Lucky right there. Yeah, that's old Lucky number 13. Lucky number 13. You can see his horns are getting quite a bit of blood in them. So he'll be scraping that off now. Lucky 13 there is an 8-point deer. You can see there. That's his first set of horns. Lucky number 13, Lucky 13, old Lucky 13 right there. And unlucky Ot 6 is really an Ot 9 on that one side. Those will be coming off soon. Probably by the time we get to the Antlers videos, we may have hard horns just about everywhere. A couple of those out there have joined us this evening. Apache's over there feeding fruit to the white deer. Let's take a look at that. You got them some garden? You been to the garden for them, Apache?
Yes, sir.
That garden, deer have really eat good out of that garden this year, hadn't they?
Yeah.
How many watermelons you reckon we've got? We've got about 15 probably, or 20, hadn't we?
More. Yeah.
And got more coming too, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm putting that big one you brought this evening in the ice maker.
Yeah.
Let it get good and cold. Forrest been over here begging from you when you've been feeding Prince Charming and Snow White. Looky there. Yeah. We still got some of the deer doesn't have their hard horns yet. And it looks like that Prince Charming doesn't have any off of his. He's sure pretty though. The babies are eating solid food good too. Have you noticed if they're still milking off of Snow White?
Yes, they still doing it.
Yeah, just as long as she'll let them, huh? She looks like she's got a little skinny this week. What do you think? She seems like she's a little skinny to me. I was feeding her something last night. You can see that his horns still got a lot of blood on them. He hadn't got them polished up real good, but he sure got a nice looking little set of horns. He just got much bigger from last year. He had pretty horns last year. He's looking at that white girl and saying, "You're a pretty girl. I've not seen a girl like you around here." And you are a pretty girl. No doubt about that. You are a pretty girl. And the babies, Casper, and Ice. The bigger one of the two is Ice. The only way I can tell them apart. Got to get some collars, little women's headbands, and put on Forest and Wild Child, so they can be identified when they're out running around in the woods, which won't be too awful much longer. You'll probably keep them in another month or so. Sure want them to get pretty good size before we let them out. We'll be dropping a video real soon if we hadn't already. By the time this video here is shown at the end of the week on the pen, building the pen. I shot a little bit while we're building it. It's pretty well. I'll walk around it here these a couple days I'm home and show you what that new pen looks like, and we'll be letting these guys go into their new home and moving Wild Child and Whitey into some bigger digs as well. Everybody's going to be happy. Hey, baby.
What is that?
You ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready. I'm ready. Oh, man. Look at your babies. They're ready for you, too. I guarantee you. Look at them out there. They're ready for you, aren't they?
I am ready.
You've got a big bowl of food for them. They can probably smell it from there, as a matter of fact. Chris and I have been gone for several days now, and we're back, though. We're back here, and so we're going to take a look at the deer, take a look at Lucy's herd, and the yard brotherhood, and the white deer, and just whatever we can. We don't really know what's going on, but I've got Chris got her a really nice bowl of food fixed there. You going to eat that, or you going to give it to the deer?
Oh, I think I'll pass.
You think he'll pass? Dig in, baby. That's some good fresh vegetables that Patsy brought up from the garden. Some squash. I got some bread in there, some apples, some Triscuits, some crackers. I don't have any carrots and grapes. I do not have carrots and grapes, but I tell you, we got a lot of good stuff for the deer. And so let's get out there. I won't let them out. You know, I've been gone for several days. We took the trip up to Minnesota, had a great time. And so Chris is out here now, and we're going to only be here for a few days until I got to go back out on the road again. So we're going to try to visit with as many deer as we can, turkey as we can. Don't know what's going to happen the next couple of days, but we're back on the ranch, and we are tickled to death to be here. So let's get it on, see what happens. Okay, yeah, I'm just kind of getting in there because they're going to run up here to you probably when they get here, and I'll get over and kind of take some pictures of some of them. Those are the big ones there. I really got these for Forrest. I don't know where he is. I kind of left a couple big. Tell you what I'll do. I'll take my pocket knife.
And you're taking
Cut those up a little bit smaller for the babies. A little bit smaller. Cool, that knife is super sharp. Super sharp. I don't want super sharp my hands. My hands are all cut up anyway. They're getting a little bit well, but they're still sore. All right. Let me cut that one a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go get them, baby.
All right.
Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Y'all ready to get out? Y'all ready to get out? Y'all ready to get out? Let's see what Chris has got for me. Yeah, let's do. My goodness, let's do. There we go, guys. Hi, baby. Golly, you've grown while I've been gone. You got so big while I've been gone. Hi there. Hi there, Whitey.
Yeah, right.
Hi there. Look, come on here. Oh, let's go to Chris. Let's go to Chris. Let's go see what Chris has got. Oh, my goodness. She's got the goodies. Oh, my goodness, baby. You got your babies now. Are you happy? You're happy, huh? You got your babies now. That is so cool. Yeah, baby. That is it. That is it. You're not having to feed them. They're eating. There's some apples in there, too. You can get down there and pick out an apple. There's Cheerios in the bottom of it. Got some squash in there. I don't think I put any cucumber in there. The vegetables that we're getting out of the garden, we're still getting vegetables. Here into September, still getting watermelons. We got 10 or 15 good watermelons up there still. Now look at Whitey's eating away, and Wild Child, she wandered off. You better give her something. Give her a bite of something there, honey. Take something and give it to her. Reach in there and find those apples and give her. She's not quite as tall as he is. Hey, baby doll. Hey, baby. Well, he's an eater, though, isn't he? Looky there. Oh, yeah, that's an apple. That's an apple, Chris. I like that. That is an apple. Yeah. Find another apple for Wild Child in there. Oh, Wild Child, she's got you an apple. There we go. There we go. Yeah. All right. We got back late last night. I left Minnesota. I got through there at Free Grace United Church about 9:30 or so. Got away from there about 10, I guess, and drove about 800 and some odd miles. I actually stopped at a couple of truck stops. Bite your finger?
Yes.
Yes. Stopped at a couple truck stops. One time stopped and napped for about 30 minutes. Another time maybe an hour. And then the third time I stopped was after daylight. And I actually probably napped a good hour then. Picked up Chris and come on back down to the ranch. We got back down here late last night. Been working all day. Hadn't even had a chance to wash my boat and my truck or put it away. I'll hopefully get to do that tomorrow. I will be in Springfield, Illinois over the weekend. I think that is, what is that, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. September 16, 17, and 18 at the Farm Home and Garden Store in East Springfield, Illinois. A re-grand opening. Be there with Shell Rotella. I will have my Shell Rotella Ranger boat there. Brand new 2022 Ranger boat that I've been fishing out of all this year. We do have a new one on order for next year, but we'll have that boat there along with my big Ram truck that's sitting right there. We'll be hitting the road heading that way here pretty soon. We're going to have a couple, 2 or 3 days to mess with the deer. You can see that little whitey there is becoming a deer. He's got spots left, but the spots on the top of his back are going away. They didn't really eat a whole lot. Of course, they've got demand food in their enclosure. You can see the white deer out there. We'll take a look at those a little bit this week too. A little bit more up close. In the herd videos, the house herd videos here. And of course have Antler videos that by the time this is on, the Antler videos will have already been done, but we wait and shoot those right at the last minute. Take a visit and try to get as much as we possibly can of all of the deer. And you look out there, Whitey's just enjoying himself, laying in the prayer circle. Look at him out there and all the big bucks. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Baby doll, what do you think about your babies?
I don't know.
Sure nice to get home and love on them a little bit, isn't it? I think they're happy to see you.
Oh.
Especially little Whitey there. Little he loves to eat. I mean, he loves to eat. He surely does. He's eating stuff out of your lap, baby. Oh, you little boy, you. The bad thing about him, honey, though, is he's going to turn into a big Whitey.
I don't know.
We're going to have to be careful with him when he gets bigger, but he'll be okay for a while. He'd be fine all year long, except during the rut. Then they get kind of mean. They don't know what they're doing. They kind of go crazy. But I guess all guys do that, kind of go crazy during the rut. I'm going to let them run around a little bit. Probably push Chris out to the front yard. We've got a friend, a lady in Nashville that has offered us an electric wheelchair. That was her husband's, who went on to see the Lord. And we just haven't been able to figure out any way to get it from Nashville. And we had applied, and I think she's been approved for an electric chair. So hopefully, she'll be able to drive herself around in here sometime in the future. With one or the other of those two chairs, whichever one works out the quickest, I guess. And really, really, really busy through the month of September and most of October before my schedule slows down. We're trying to do a lot of television shows right now. And obviously we do over 700 videos a year for YouTube and Facebook. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please go in there and hit that subscribe button, because we have videos pretty much every single day. I think every day of the week except Tuesday we have videos. Sometimes we put up 2 or 3 in a day. Sometimes we put some up on Tuesday. But our scheduled videos. Oh, those geese flew over. I couldn't figure out what that was.
Right.
They flew right over the top, didn't they?
Uh-huh.
Well, their wings made a lot of noise, didn't it?
Yeah.
They getting there and went down there and landed in the lake. Honey, I think maybe I'm gonna have to feed you that for dinner.
I don't know.
You see anything in there you like?
I don't know.
You're not sure, huh? There's some apple there if you want a piece of apple. Not bad, huh? When I chop their food up, I take a few nibbles myself. I'm a tester to make sure it's still good. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? No. I don't have any grapes and carrots, and I forgot to tell Sherry to put them on the order. I can't believe she didn't remember. All right, let's let them run around out front and see what happens. Big time zoomies going on. I mean, big time zoomies going on. They're running around the building here. They're running in between the first and second building. Should come running out of there. Slowed down a lot. Was running 100 miles an hour a minute ago. That's wild child, isn't it? Yeah, that's wild child. I got a red collar that I just put on. Little Whitey. So I'm gonna try to get one on her. She'll come over here around Chris. I might be able to trick her into slipping one on her. It's a little bit too big for her. We'll see what happens. You almost did, honey. Come here, baby. Come here. Here. Is that good? It's pretty big, isn't it? Too big for you, but that's all right. At least you got something. How about cracker? How about cracker? You don't want that cracker? Huh? What you want? You want some love, and so I want the love on you, boss. With the baby potatoes there they're eating. Okay. I got a little, she's going to go back in the building. Got a little pink collar on her. Can't see it very well. It's not very bright. I got a real pretty red collar on little Whitey. Look at that. Look at him. Aren't you special now, boy? I need another collar like that. That's a wide one, a bright one. And I'm sure we might be able to find those at Walmart. It stretches pretty big, so he'll be able to wear it quite a little while. But I don't think it'll get tight on him when it gets kind of tight. But it's really pretty. Golly, you're a pretty collar on you. Yeah, you got a pretty collar on you, boy. It's not bothering him a bit. He's kind of like he doesn't even know it's there, honey.
Okay.
He's pretty, isn't he? He said, I'm a pretty boy with or without a collar. Well, she's going back over there. She's probably thinking, I know that when Jimmy goes back in this building, you can see her little pink collar. It's thin. It's not very good collar. It's a little hairband, a woman's hairband, just soft, real soft elastic. It could get pretty tight, and it still wouldn't be choking them or anything like that. And that one's just really way too big for her. You can see how saggy it is. But I'm gonna try to find her a different color than little Whitey. Get her a different color on there that we can identify her, especially once they get to running out in the wild. You know, when they get running out in the wild, really, really, really helps to have some identification from these ones that was bottle fed and hand raised here at the house. But they're looking mighty good. I'll mess around here with them for a minute. I've got about a half a dozen bottles fixed. Apache said that Wild Child is not drinking too much bottle. She's not too interested anymore. They've got demand feed in their building at all times, so they can get all they want to eat. They never get hungry. You can see she's enjoying trying to feed on the grass, but we still do not have the electric fixed to our, had some electrical problems under the water, and we're trying to get that fixed. And we got a new pump, which we didn't need. We bought a pump, and that didn't help. It was an electrical problem underneath the water in the conduit, so we're trying to get that fixed and haven't got that quite done yet. So we're not running the sprinkler system in the yard, and the grass is looking terrible, terrible, terrible. We had 1.5 inches on September 2nd or so, and a 0.4 about a day later or 2 days later. That 1.9 is all we've had since the first week in June, like June 3 or June 5 or something. I don't remember exactly. But here it is, the middle of September, basically. And we still have had no more rain, and there's only a little slight chance out about a week from now, a 20% chance, which is no chance at all, hardly. But once The 15-day forecast has almost no. Well, here we go. I need to go around the front and see if I can get her. I'm too slow. See if she comes storming through there. Nope, did not. She went to the running around the front, and I didn't get around there fast enough, and here she came back. Wow. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at that flock of geese. That's the biggest flock of geese we've ever had here. Far and away. Look at that. My goodness. There was some flew over just a little while ago. Oh, Jimmy. Get down here by the trees. They're gone just like that. Great camera work. Oh, they're the last ones. Great camera work, Jimbo. Oh my goodness, that was a pretty bunch of birds. It's beautiful out there this evening. They may come back around land. I don't know. Something might have just scared them up. There's about 30 or 40 geese in that, big Canadians. We've had flocks of 15 or 20 hang around, but that was the biggest flock that we've ever had. The biggest flocks. I can hear them still going though. They're probably going over to the other lake. You can see we had a wreck down there. The rotting wood on our boat dock. Take a look at that. I'll show you that up close before the week's out. It's pitiful. Treated wood. Should never do that. You should have some repercussion. At least I ought to get free wood to replace it, but that probably won't happen. I come around the corner after looking at the geese and trying to find wild child running, and I find, look in the background back there. Would you look at that? Look at that in the background, back behind Chris. I find Whitey up here back in the food trough again, loving around on Chris and getting to eat. He sure didn't clean it up. Look at him, he's turning into a deer. Look back behind out there though, is that something? Look back out there behind. That is amazing, isn't it? Look at that big old buck laying back there. I mean, beautiful. Little Whitey, you're gonna look like your daddy one day. You are gonna look like your daddy. Big Whitey. Look at that forest back there. Is he majestic? Oh my goodness. You see forest back there behind you, baby? Off to your right. Well, I'm gonna go get the bottles. I've got both of them out here right now. They're probably tired of running. I don't know if that collar will stay on her. She could probably hang it on something. It's pretty, it's so big. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. They're fascinated with those white deer. They like to get around those white deer. They're fascinated with them. Okay, guys, come here. Oh, yeah, looky here what we got. Yeah, looky here. Yeah, you're not hurt so bad you won't drink a bottle of milk, though, are you? Are you? No way. Golly, that scared me. Don't be running into stuff like that, Whitey. Golly, sure is hard to get you little babies up to a big deer. Yeah, very hard to do. You might have a concussion and a headache, but you're sure drinking that bottle of milk fast. Look at Whitey go. He's about got his down. Got that pretty red collar. The collars look about the same, don't they? You can see though the one on Wild Child, she got hers down in a hurry. The one on Wild Child is not nearly as big. Here, drink this little, here, get a little. Well, he's having a hard time with that. She said, that's hard to get out of, boss. You just gotta get a little suction going, girl. Some of them are a lot easier to get out of. That's a brand new nipple on that one. On this little bottle, the nipple was messed up. She said, that's too difficult. I'm not getting enough out of there. squeeze it a little bit, see if it can help. That's better running. Okay, hang on, babies, hang on, babies, hang on. There's another one. Little Whitey, you scared me, buddy, running into that fence like that. I looked over and I saw him flopping around on the ground, and I thought, what in the world is that? One of my deer? And sure enough, it was. And I went over and his head was laying down like he was dead. And he raised his head up, but he wouldn't get up. And I thought maybe his legs might have got broken or something. You know, that bottle's not, you're not getting out of that bottle fast enough for you. You need something a little faster, don't you? Yeah. Here, baby. There you go. You got yours empty, don't you, huh? Okay, these are the last two. These are the last two. We've got a little bit left in that little bitty bottle. Y'all wasn't too much on the solid food, yet you're drinking a gallon of milk. Yeah, you're drinking a gallon of milk. Pat's has been feeding you that corn stuff that they feed babies in Mexico, hasn't he? Look at your little nubbins going out. Oh, I'm telling you, you need to. They get going fast. Of course, that fence is a new fence up there too. They haven't been able to see those fences, so he ran right into it, I guess. I didn't see it happen. I was pointing the camera out that way. There's a little bit left in there. A little bit left in there. I was pointing the camera out that way. It might be on there. I don't really know. I kind of doubt it. All right, I'm gonna dump this in here so y'all can finish it up because I don't want to carry it in the house. I'm gonna put a fast nipple on there. The new nipples are too small, aren't they? That's why they make the babies drink out of that little bitty tiny hole in that nipple. Get a big nipple so they can drink some milk, right, guys? Right, guys? Put this old one on for y'all. This is the last one. Y'all have to share. Y'all have to share. Y'all have to share. We need to develop a 2-nipple bottle, don't we? Develop a 2-nipple bottle for twins. Okay, that's it. Well, it didn't take them long to empty that out, did it? That's all, guys. That's all. I'm gonna get your feet out of my bag. That's it. That's it. It's empty. That one's empty. They're all empty, guys. You empty it out. You drink a gallon. You drink a gallon. Even after eating all that food, you drink a gallon. This is the best part right here. This is the best part when you get out here and they see he's going to love on you a little bit. They just going to love on you and just, you know, enjoy being around you. And this is where you really bond with them, is after they get through eating, they're full and they're happy. And this wild child, how wild she was when she was little, you couldn't even get close to her. And now what a lover she's become. And they're tall and they're heavy. I mean, when I carried Whitey up from back below the pen down there, he's about all I could do to carry that little deer. I don't know what he weighs. Probably maybe 35 pounds or so. He's really good size. And we did get a couple collars on him. Wild Child has got the pink collar. Whitey's got a beautiful red collar. My favorite color is red. I will try to find another collar like is what is on what is on little Whitey and put on Wild Child. Those real wide ones that are kind of small, but they'll stretch out pretty good size. I think they can wear those for quite some time, and if they get tight, then we can always just cut them off or pull them off and put something else on them. But it's always nice to have a color on them where you can identify them, and a color where you can see them. If they get lost out there, something happens to them, and they get hurt, you want to go out and rescue them a little bit, you can do that by looking for that collar. You know, one of the times when a big buck got after Lucy, and I couldn't find him, and I saw what I thought was a couple of coons going down a tree, and I got my gun and shined over there, and I was going to shoot those coons, and I shined my spotlight, and I could just see a little bit of an orange collar, and it wasn't coons at all. It was Lucy and that big buck. They were outside the high fence, and somehow got outside the high fence. which is over a mile from the house here, 1.1 miles to the high fence gate, and they were on the other side of that. And I was looking through the fence in a little patch of woods out there, and so I went over there a little closer and shined, and sure enough, I said, Lucy, what are you doing there? And I went around and went through the gate and walked down to the woods to her. And when I got down there, there was that big buck, the big 10-point buck standing right there beside her. And he wasn't leaving. He just wasn't leaving. And I walked Lucy all the way back to the house. So that was one time where Lucy had a chance to be gone and wasn't. So many, many times she came close to dying. The bobcat caught her when she was a fawn, and she somehow escaped. She had 9 lives, but finally used them all up. What a great evening we've had. First evening back home. Don't know what's going to happen the next few days, but we'll let you watch it, whatever it is. Guys and girls, stay tuned.